Hey everybody, this is Tex with the open source office here at Intersect. Once again, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more content. I'm joined once again here by Rupert Whitehead with CDEC and IO, also joined by Justin from Clarity and the Cardano Builder DAO. And that's actually going to be the focus of today's conversation here. Once again, I'm Tex, open source program manager at Intersect, but let me go ahead and pass it off real quick to Rupert for a quick introduction.
Hi, I'm Rupert. I'm in the ecosystems team at IO, and we've been working with the Builders DAO and Clarity as part of CDEC as well.
Thank you, and I'll pass it off to Justin here as well.
Yeah, I'm Justin, one of the technical co-founders at Clarity. We've been building governance tooling on Cardano for a while, and excited today to be talking about kind of our newest initiative with some other builders in the Cardano ecosystem, the Cardano Builders DAO.
Great, thank you. So Cardano Builders DAO, we've heard about this a little bit from some of the CDEC conversations that have been going on. I know I've seen some images. There are quite a few organizations that are already involved, but tell us some more, Justin, about Cardano Builder DAO and why we might want to be getting to be a part of it, how that works with funding or project focus. Tell us what you can.
Yeah, the Builder DAO is really targeted at some of the top projects building on Cardano. Good framing that I've heard is Catalyst graduates. So we're trying to pull in a lot of these top projects who are specifically focused on moving some important KPIs for Cardano forward. So that includes user adoption, TVL, transaction volume, adding users to Cardano. These sorts of things are kind of the North Star of Cardano Builder DAO. So just to kind of name some of the projects who are already kind of collaborating in this way, we've got Dex Hunter, Ada Handle, Clarity, Tap Tools, Indigo, Exuberus, Drip Drops, Fluxpoint, Endmaker, OneChain, Tokyo, Vesper, and some more that are rolling in every day. So a lot of the projects that people know and love on Cardano, a lot that the users are actually leveraging on a day-to-day basis. So really what the Cardano Builder DAO is designed to do is to give these projects a way to request funding that helps them to further these KPIs. So the actual mechanism that we'll be pursuing to execute on this vision is to request a budget allocation from the Treasury, and this is ultimately subject to the DREP approval. But with that funding bucket, we would be forming a DAO among these projects, and then basically these projects can request funding from that DAO bucket that's voted on by other projects in the Cardano Builder DAO. So they'll kind of present what their roadmap is, what specific KPIs they want to improve, where they're at right now, and where they want to go. And what I think is really cool about the Builder DAO is we have this kind of semi-annual structure where you're able to review people's progress, see if they're making the steps towards improving their KPIs that they laid out. And if not, you can reevaluate every 6 months. So I think that gives a good opportunity for Cardano to see the exact impact that funding the Builder DAO has. They'll be able to see how these KPIs improve and the direct outcomes of that funding, and then be reevaluating on that semi-annual basis. So I think it's a good way for these projects to request funding while also kind of carving out space for Catalyst itself so that these projects aren't eating up so much of that Catalyst funding bucket, but kind of providing that area for the early stage projects to kind of request funding and kind of live more harmoniously.
I think you've covered a lot of the key points there, Justin, but I am curious, the more that I think about this, what would be the reason I would go to the Cardano Builder DAO, right? Whether through CDEC or for any other purpose. Again, regardless of whether open source or closed source in nature for the project, what's going to be my benefit of being within this DAO, me and my project, if you will, as opposed to just submitting to the full process under the Treasury withdrawal or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is just getting involved with all these other projects and being a part of this collaborative DAO effort. So obviously, this DAO has a very defined kind of key objectives and increasing these KPIs. So I think if you are seeking funding for a reason that is to improve one of these KPIs, this is a great place for you to kind of end up. And like you mentioned, there's less emphasis specifically on the project needing to be open source. We're more so just focused on improving these KPIs for Cardano. So I would say for a lot of these projects, they're interested in hiring another developer, adding a new feature that they have, gathered user feedback on and know that it would be beneficial for their product or for Cardano, but maybe they just don't have the capacity to add that right now. So I think that is a really good place of a project being in to end up in the Cardano Builder DAO.
And I was thinking here as well, I'm hoping this isn't too much of a curveball, but if we kind of divert some focus to some D-reps who might be watching this here, why would it be a good thing for them to pick up on the Cardano Builder DAO and essentially give some of the funding there as opposed to other individual proposals?
Yeah, I think that in general, the Cardano Builder DAO is going to take care of some of that more fine-tune KPI reviewing, annual reporting, kind of that administrative layer to distribute these funding buckets. So I think that will help to kind of streamline that process. And with that being said, I think that the Cardano Builder DAO has a pretty low overhead compared to some other funding mechanisms. So it really lets us put funding in the hands of the builders, less focus on kind of some of the bureaucracy that might hold some of the builders up, and really just, focused on enabling these builders to build.
Wonderful. Rupert, I don't want to leave you out. Any thoughts from the CDEC perspective on what we've heard from Cardano Builder DAO?
I mean, I like the kind of expression that Clarity came up with of let the cooks cook. It's sort of the idea that we let the builders just go build stuff. I think it's important to see this in the wider picture. This is an interesting innovation, and I think it's going to be really good to see how this experiment plays out. But it's a good approach to support these kind of projects and a different type of governance layer that sits on top of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next and see where the D-reps go with this. But it's a part of a wider picture of how do we make our ecosystem more successful. So it's looking promising. I'm excited, and it's part of this wider picture of how you get funding. Looking good.
There's definitely many ways to make things work, and I'll tell you, I'm excited to be a part of it just as much as I'm sure you all are as well. Justin, let me pass this off to you here. How do we get involved in the Cardano Builder DAO, or how do we join? How do we signify that interest?
Yeah, so being involved in CDEC is a great place to, I think, start, and CDEC can kind of help guide if the Builder DAO makes sense for your specific project. It is an open application form, so we'll collect some information about your current KPIs, kind of where you want to go, what your roadmap looks like. We have an open process to end up in our Telegram group right now. That's kind of where we're doing a lot of our early stage facilitation of onboarding new DAO members. We'll be hosting some early elections coming up here soon. I would say go to CDEC. They'll help you to determine if CBDAO is correct for you. And if it is, we have an open application process for anybody to join.
Yeah, so cdec.site is the link to go to for that, and then click on the Discord. That'll take you in there, and you'll see a channel that's specifically around the Builders DAO. So you'll see discussion and more details of things like the application form, and a presentation that gives a lot more detail about how the DAO works and the process there. And obviously the team will be on hand to answer any questions as well that you raise there. So please have a look and see what you think.
Great. Thanks so much, guys. Try to make sure to include some links here for the audience, but of course, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe there if you will. Leave us a comment. Was this helpful for you? Is there more information? Do we invite Rupert and Justin back, or either one of them back, to give it a little bit more of a focus? But until the next time, this has been another production of the Open Source Office. Have a great one.